Right, we're going to do the solid geometry of this object, and we're going to be drawing the top view, left view, and right view of it. Right, to start with, obviously you need to transfer those two views onto your page, and once you've got that, have an XY axis in between the two of them, and I need to number these objects. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to call that point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to transfer those numbers down to these corners over here. Number 1, number 6, and number 2, number 5, and number 3, and number 4 over there. Call the apex 0, and there is 0 up at the top over there. Right, once I've got that, I'm going to draw the top view of this. I'm going to take lines coming down from these corners. I'm going to draw a line also from the apex of the pyramid, and I'm going to draw an XY axis. Please remember to label your XY axes. A lot of you are not doing that. X, Y. If you leave that out, you will lose marks, and I don't want to take marks off. Right. I now come over to this view over here, and I'm going to transfer point number 1 from there, find point number 1, and go to the new XY axis. So from the old XY axis to the new XY axis, and I plant down point number 1 over there. I'm going to do that with 2, 3, 4, etc. all the way around until I've got all of these points. So from 2, I take that measurement, go to 2, go to the XY axis, plant it down. Label it as 2. Don't forget to label. Go to 5, go to 6 over here, 6.
Please excuse the interruption. Could Kellen Crimble call us up just now? Thank you.
6. 5 you'll see is exactly the same length away from the XY axis, so over here it will also be the same length away from the XY axis. There's 5. 4 away from the XY axis is 4 away from the XY axis. 3, that distance away, find 3, go down, plant it off, and I have 3 over there. 0, this is a part that a lot of you get wrong for some reason. Remember where I'm taking my measurements from the XY axis to 0. Find 0 over here, take it down, and mark that off as 0 over there. Right, once I've done that, I'm going to then draw lightly in construction lines, lines going from all of these points to 0. Just lightly, lines going to 0. And joining up all the points that you can see. So 4 goes to 5, 5 goes to 6, etc. And I'll end up with a construction of my pentagon. And then I've got to decide as to what needs to be in dark, what needs to be done as a hidden detail line. Right, the next thing, place yourself in the view. You are looking over here. This is my top view. So where am I standing? I'm going to be standing over here as a little bird, looking down onto it. What is the line that I can see? I can see this line over here, and it says that it is 0.4. So I can come along, and I can draw in the line 0.4. All the way across there. I'll obviously be able to see 4 to 5. 4 to 5 is over here. And you can obviously see 3 to 4 over there. You'll be able to see 3 to 2 over there. You'll be able to see 5 to 6 over there. This over here is an edge going from 0 to 5. This over here is an edge going from 0 to 2. And these lines over here I'm obviously not going to be able to see them because they are underneath. That would be 1, 6 and 1, 2. So those two lines would be in hidden detail. So we draw that in hidden detail. Right, we need to do the left and the right view. Same story. I'm going to draw in an XY axis over here. Label it X, label it Y. Come across here, put an XY axis in, X and Y. And I must then draw lines going across from all of these points again. Go in both directions, it'll save you some time. You need these lines. Take them across. And now all I need to do is to take my measurements. I can take them off this view or I can take them off this view. Basically these measurements over here, they are going to be exactly the same. So from XY over here to naught is that distance. If I come over here, from the XY axis to naught is that distance. If I come up to naught over here, go across to the new XY axis, my distance from XY is going to be the same. There's naught. Go across to this new XY axis. Place it down. That's also naught. Same distance there, there, and there, and there. Right, do number 1. Number 1 and number 4, they're going to be exactly the same. So I come across here and I say number 1. Place that down. And number 1. Label it. Number 1. Number 1. Number 4. Go to number 4. Go across. Number 4. And number 4. 4 and 4. Go to number 5. Number 5 is there. Number 5 is there. Find number 5 over here. There's 5. Go across to this side. Mark off 5. Mark off 5. Mark off 5. Number 6 is the same distance as 5. There's 6 over here. Go and find 6 over there. Go across. Mark it off. Go across to here. Mark it off. And I'll have 6 over there and 6 over there. Go to number 2 over there. Number 2 over here is that distance from the XY axis. Find number 2. Go across. Mark it off. Number 2 over there. Go across. Mark it off. Number 2 over there. There's number 2. There's number 2. Number 3 is the same distance as number 2. Find number 3. Go across the new XY axis. Mark it off as 3. Go across. Mark it off as 3. Right, once I've got that in place, same story, link it up, and we're going to find out what it is that we can see, what it is we can't see. Got lines going between all of these over here. Just do construction lines just to get the general shape of it. Lines going up to the apex from all of these points. Right, that's that view over there. Let's have a look. Where am I standing? I'm standing on the left-hand side of the object. Standing over here, there's the top of my head. Looking across at this thing, there's me looking across at this thing. What is the line that is closest to me? It is going to be 1 naught. So straight away, I come along here and I draw in 1 naught. There is 1 naught over there. I can now say, okay, well, I can definitely see 1, 2. I can definitely see 1, 6. I'll be able to see that line going to 5 over there. You can see it as an edge. You can see 5 to 3. I'll be able to see a line going up to the top over here from 5 to naught. I'll be able to see a line going up from 3 to naught. The lines that I'll be able to see a line going from 2 to naught. Obviously, if I can see 2, I will be able to see the line going from 2 to naught. I'll be able to see the line going from 6 to 0. The lines that are going to be hidden detail would be this line going from 5 to 4 and from 4 to 3.
Excuse the interruption. Could you just bear with us for a while as we are testing the intercom? Thank you.
Right. I'm going to draw I'm going to draw this thing in over here as a construction line story as fast as I can before the intercom starts yelling at me. Right, there it is. I'm going to take lines coming from all of these points going up to 0. There we go. Look over here. Right. There we go. Good show. Okay, I've got all those lines in place. Now I need to say, okay, if I'm standing over here, okay, pretend that I'm a little bit short, I'm going to be able to see the base of it. So straight away, I know that I can draw the base in dark. There it is. Just draw in that base nice and dark. There it is. My accuracy over here is not so lacquer. Right. Once I've got that, well, draw in the edges that you can see. That would be 5 and 3. And I'm going to be able to see this line going from 4 to 0. If you look at it, the closest line over here is 4, 0 at the top here. These lines at the back here, number 2, 0 is going to be a hidden detail line. Number 1, 0 is going to be a hidden detail line. And number 6, 0 is going to be a hidden detail line. And that is your drawing.